I don't know. I never went to those kind of parties. Hey geeks, welcome to my channel. I'm Trey Guillotine, and you're watching Daily Marvels, where I give a few thoughts of some of the Daily Marvel news that has gone on in the past week. A petition has been created to save the Inhumans show. We got our first clip of Cloak and Dagger, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. might not be canceled after all. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it around so others can join in the conversation. So if you didn't see Inhumans, I unfortunately did, and I reviewed it, and I thought that the best description for that TV show was a garbage fire. It wasn't good. I didn't think it was good. I really struggled to find good things to say about this show. One of the consistently good things I found to say about the show was that Lockjaw was amazing, that he was cute, and I loved him, and I want more Lockjaw. But the rest of the show was just kind of crap. Well, apparently someone disagrees with that to the extent that they've actually created a petition to save the Inhumans series. They specify in the petition that they're not exactly defending the poor quality of the Inhumans series, but they're basically trying to get Marvel to give Inhumans a second chance and to do it properly with a new showrunner and just a better quality production overall. And I can actually agree with that. I would love to see Inhumans done well. I think there's a lot of real potential in the story of Black Bolt and Medusa and the rest of the Inhumans. I think that it has the potential to be a really good show and a really good story. They just, for whatever reason, it feels like they pretty much blew their budget on giant sweeping shots of Hawaii and forgot to hire good writers and decent actors. Actually, that's not fair, because there actually were a number of incredibly talented actors who I guess were just directed to act badly. Maybe this was just something that they were just doing for like a quick buck. I don't know. But Inhumans, getting the Inhumans show was an ordeal, because originally it was supposed to be a movie, and supposedly Vin Diesel was supposed to play Black Bolt. That's the rumor. But then they took it off. But then they took it off of the movies. But then they took it off their movie slate, and they added it as a TV show with, you know, a whole new cast, whole new story of what was thought was going to be done, and it was not done well. There's a lot of places that I really feel could have been improved by just better writing. But apparently that's just not what happened. But I kind of agree that this show deserves a second chance. But as of reading this, the petition actually has 3,921 signatures, which I did sign it. I definitely support this. I definitely think Inhumans should be given a second chance. So we saw our first clip of the upcoming show Cloak and Dagger, which is a kind of another teen superhero drama, kind of like Runaways. About Cloak and Dagger, a young man named Tyrese and a young woman named Tandy, and they both have superpowers, and somehow they come together, and somehow their powers complement each other. I'm not 100% sure how that works. I know very little of Cloak and Dagger aside from what I saw of them in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. But what we saw of the clip was basically their first meeting, or their first official meeting, where, you know, Tyrese is going to a party, and then Tandy bumps into him, and they banter back and forth, and then he goes to buy a drink at the party and realizes his wallet's gone and realizes that Tandy stole it. So he chases after her, and then when they touch hands, their powers like react to each other, and they poof, big thing. So I've never been to a lot of parties, but who sells alcohol? Who sells alcohol to underage teens at parties? Like, I mean, I guess that's something that could definitely happen. I've obviously never went to any parties when I was in high school, so I don't actually know if there's someone there bringing alcohol and selling it to teens. I figured that was just like we have a keg, come get what you want and get drunk. I don't know. I never went to those kind of parties. But overall, the trailer just, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was just, I guess, lackluster. It didn't have me really excited. But, I mean, that doesn't really say much, because I felt the exact same way about Runaways. I was very unhyped, very not excited about Runaways. So hopefully when the show does come out, it'll actually be really good. And it's coming out on Freeform, and it's actually filmed in New Orleans. So I'm pretty excited to see, like, a Marvel superhero show in New Orleans, even if it's just like the backlots of a studio in New Orleans. But I think that's really cool. The trailer itself, go check it out. You may like it a lot more than I did. It may get you a lot more excited if you know more about Cloak and Dagger than I do. But overall, not that impressed by it. So for the longest time, I've been kind of guessing that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was going to be canceled this season. Even though this season has been really good, I thought it was like too little too late and it was going to be canceled. Well, apparently I'm wrong, because it's now considered the highest rated and reviewed show that Marvel has, even more so than the Netflix series. And originally Luke Cage had the best rated and highest rated best reviewed show that Marvel has, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has taken that spot, which is a huge surprise for me, because as much as I'm enjoying Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this season, as much as I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I still think the Netflix shows are a lot better. But it's interesting that apparently, according to everyone else, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the best Marvel TV show. I'm not surprised that it's getting better reviewed, especially for this season. It's been doing a lot of really cool things where they're like jumping to a new timeline. They're jumping through a new timeline. They're adding a lot of really. It's a more grizzled Shield. It's a more like travel worn or travel weary Shield. Like, everyone's a lot more badass. Everyone's a lot more funny. It's a much cooler show now. Whereas, especially last season, where it was just kind of floundering. But there's also a lot of, I don't want to necessarily call it fan service in this season, but a lot of callbacks to things like Gravitonium, or even the framework, where they actually have a framework working in this season, but it's not a huge like plot point for this season. It's something that's kind of there. So I think the fact that it's not going to be canceled is a good thing. I'm definitely very excited to see what happens with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. next, especially how they're going to conclude this season, which there's so many huge changes just to the storyline of what's going to be happening in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in reference to the rest of the MCU. And there's also so much talk about with Marvel finally kind of bringing all of their titles under one roof, under the Disney streaming service, that there would actually be a lot more more chances for crossover between TV and movies. Will those be huge crossovers? Probably not. But at this time, we don't know the details of what exactly they might be thinking. But I think it would be tragic if Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't a part of that. It was the first Marvel TV series. It was their first introduction. It was Marvel's first introduction into the TV realm. So I definitely think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does deserve that chance to kind of regain its footing. And I'm glad it's getting that chance, that now it's just such a high-rated show that it's getting that chance to become the show that maybe everyone else wanted it to be. What did you think of these Daily Marvels, and were there any news stories you'd like to hear me talk about? Let me know in the comments, and follow me on all the internets. You can check out my written reviews of Marvel TV shows, movies, and video games at treyguillotine.blogspot.com, and subscribe to my channel to geek out some more. Thanks for watching, and have fun.